All right. It's time for the semi-finals. Clem in the bottom left side, Classic in the top right. It's a best of 5, and Classic taking a leaf out of Hero's book, sending a worker across immediately, saying, I do not want to get proxied. I want to harass you. I want to disrupt your opening. And I'm really curious to see if Classic stands on the side of the players who are greedy and go Nexus before Cybercore while doing this. Use the probe to delay as long as possible. Maybe even run into the back of the base and then lure the Reaper back and recall at the last second so that Reaper doesn't punish you for it. Of course, the goal here is to block the barracks as he pushes across Storm Surge. Keep in mind, this is the Team Liquid map contest tournament, which means all the maps will be cool new maps that are currently being voted on for the future. Well, not necessarily the winners playing the future of ladder, but it does, of course, give out prize money, and often it is those that get voted for that end up on the ladder, though it's not exact. Sometimes it does seem like there's some discretion on Blizzard's side in terms of which maps do actually get picked. Probe goes back, regens some shields. Clem trying to be very greedy. Rather than just leaving an SCV there like most players, trusts his reaction speed and does get down there. This is a 1-rax expand for Clem, and that probe so far not really finding too much damage, so Classic, he's going to be rallying just one worker onto gas, an incredibly mineral-focused build in that he didn't pull off. But one has to wonder, no, this is Cybercore before Nexus, otherwise he would have already sent the probe to the natural. So, conservative opening for Classic. I always feel like this build, you delay the barracks, you force them to pop SCVs on and off a little bit. You know, this is not going to be the fastest Reaper of all time. I don't know, I would love to see Nexus before Cybercore. And Hero, since he started doing that, I think his openings have become so deadly. Because a lot of Terrans, they're not used to their Reaper finding damage, and they want to be cautious with it, because if you go Reaper and throw it away, it's really, really bad. But by going Nexus a bit quicker, it means your second gas could already have been down. Instead, you had to build second pylon first. And if you go for that greedier version, it really puts pressure on Terran players to be more aggressive, to get in your face. And then if you block that aggression, you find yourself ahead. But as it is, Classic's playing a bit more conservative. And I think the thing you got to look out for historically is Classic is a defensive Protoss. Clem knows it. Clem used to struggle with Classic when he played against him like he was just a general Protoss player, but he's not. Classic is incredibly defensive. His weakness that's been taken advantage of relentlessly over the last year by Clem, Maru, everyone else, is that Classic does not attack with Blink Stalkers nearly as much as MaxPax and Hero. So players like Clem, they like to cut corners. They like to skip siege tanks. They like to go straight to stim and shields while just doing light harassment. And they like to kind of leave a window where, well, if you went 3 or 4 gate blink, I'd probably die or take massive damage. But you're not MaxPax or Hero, so I know I can be greedy against you. And that's something where we have seen an interesting meta where Classic knows they know this. As a result, he will just shove 4 gate blink sometimes, hoping to catch them off guard being greedy, even though he knows it's not really his best build. Like, you look at MaxPax and Hero, and you can tell they're confident playing 4 gate blink because they are just wizards when it comes to microing those units. But that does shade in that depot. Only 41 hit points. Could have focus fired. It only takes 5 hits to kill that. Could lure the SCV back here. That depot's going to get cancelled. This is a nice move for Classic. Good cancel for Clem, but he doesn't have enough mobile units to deal with it. His Reaper on the other side does go into the main base, though. He gets 2 probes and gets out. Nope, he goes back, gets too greedy, and I think on the ledge... Oh, he barely escapes. Meanwhile, though, Adept gets 2 SCVs, as well as a bunch of mining time in here. Good pullback on the weakened SCVs so far. You can see the way Clem is pulling back the weakened SCVs, and oh, he does lose that one. But fantastic micro from Clem to save those 2 extras. So at the end of the day, brass tacks, 3 SCVs for 2 probes, but the Adept goes down. There's a lot more mining time on Clem's side, but the Reaper does survive with that Hellion to go back in and potentially be annoying. Classic, he's on 2 gate only now. Wait. He's not even got a second gate. That's another downside of playing core first. You get your first few gateway units out a bit faster, but because you have that less minerals, less production on your natural early, you actually end up sometimes with a massively delayed second gateway. So playing 1 gate at 4 minutes. Wow. Very, very slow on that second one. Good Stalker spready here. The Hellions keep on poking. The Reaper's already gone down, though. And it's going to be a 3rd Nexus at 413, which is still a very well-timed 3rd base. Classic wants to take this to the economy game. And we know that in ultra late game, Clem is probably favored, but the real kill timings he struggled with against Classic in the past is early Colossus Storm combos, right? 3 Colossus, 6 High Templar, maybe sometimes even 8 High Templar with Storm. And people with, oh, he's got EMP, he's fine. Well, no, if Clem has 5, 6 Ghosts, but your High Templar are always spreading out and dodging the EMPs and just coming in one at a time and forcing those EMPs to come out, often just for single High Templar, that's where Classic has taken him down a fair amount of the time. Early Forge, 4 minutes 50, just off 2 gateways. confidence in the economy. That's the name of the game. I love this pylon up the top as well. Stalkers on the right. You can see Classic's trying to limit the opportunities, and already the Widowmine drops found absolutely nada. Raven is coming out. You can see there's very little fear of blink aggression, hence he doesn't really have a proper wall off for a siege tank against anyone else. You can imagine, guys, Clem's building tanks. He's got a full wall off here. He's worried about Stalkers trying to blink in his main. Against Classic, it's an entirely different mode. And of course, part of this is informed by the fact that he did scout a quick third base as well. I like when players are casting, but observing smoothly. Sometimes they jump around so much it's so bad. Pig is good. Well, if I get really excited, you will see me shake my camera a lot more than a dedicated observer. So apologies in advance for that. It does happen. It's hard to do everything at once, but even when someone's dedicated observing, they're always missing action, especially when you get guys like Clem. So much multitasking, so I appreciate the sentiment, and thank you so much for appreciating that. You can see, guys, no stim, no shields, but the Marauder Marine count's safe now with the Raven, and by skipping the tanks, we're going to have full map control soon. Stim, shields, combat shields, the medevacs, all this stuff. Classic's still poking around. The Raven is right there. He could blink in, but it's only 4 Stalkers, so without a Prism there for safety, not a good idea. And he should realize, I think, with that Observer poke, hey, it looks like my opponent's moved across this map with a drop. He's warping in some units at home, but the Widowmine drop's going to keep him busy here. Nice way to distract. Forcing mass Stalker warp-ins is also good, because Stalkers are very expensive units, but without Zealots in front to tank, if those go down to Stim, that's a problem. And look at this Stim timing! Dude, he's moving in even before Stim is done! Absolutely sick! That is a brutal timing. What in the world? He literally hit as Stim is 0.7 seconds from finished. The shield battery might save the day, though. That was a really good snap recall for Classic. He just averted disaster there, and Clem panicked. That other medevac got F2'd back through. That was very well done by both sides. Like, not only was that a sick timing to sneak out and then hit exactly when Stim's done. That's often a game-winning timing. But look at this. There's a Colossus out. There's a Sentry. You energy recharge that Sentry. Oh, we can't do that for a while. So he doesn't have Guardian Shield for the next fight. But I think with the Colossus, it's like Clem has to get out of here. He's going to see the Colossus and run. Oh, decent anti-armor missile. But the Raven gets focused. Beautiful focus fire for Classic. The turret is there. The Marines cannot run into the Colossus. Oh, my lord. One Colossus shot on each side of those Marines, and they're all deep in the orange. You can fight the Zealots as long as the Colossus is not part of the action. You can see he wants to pick off the Zealots and Stalkers that chase too far. There is no water mechanic on this version of it, so he can run straight across the passage without getting pushed. Of course, you guys know the version we will be going back to after Team Liquid map contest in our Pigstarcraft tournaments does involve the water pushing you into the middle from both sides, which is a bit of a controversial mechanic, but one which I think has led to some really fun situations. Oh, Classic leaves an observer on pervert mode. Does get dealt with there by a single Marine. A little sloppy not reacting in time. Good job having a bunker set up. He's going to grab... Oh, look at the split fire. He's splitting up so that the concussive hits 2 different Zealots. Gets an extra Zealot for his micro. That is an extra 100 minerals of damage down to Clem's micro. Problem. Clem's third base is only just now floating out. His 4th and 5th barracks just coming up. His +1 armor's just started. I mean, he's progressing at an okay rate, but he's only barely traded positively. There's a 4th base almost finished. If Classic can... He's already got like a very nice double forge timing, right? 2 1s on the way. So he's leading on the upgrades. Clem needs to find more damage. Okay, Widowmines are going to do a little bit of damage. Nothing crazy. 4 probes. Bit of splash. Nothing big. Marauders do deal with another Zealot down over on that side. This base up here is going to be taken out. Very nice snipe. Oh, that's huge. Dude, and he's got another... Wait, is that the same Widowmine drop? Did he save those Widowmines? I'm not sure if he saved, but he must have, right? There's no way he's got this many Widowmine drops on the map. I mean, it's a great way to stretch the multitasking of Classic. We always talk about Classic as being fast, but nowhere near as fast as someone like Clem. It's you know, multitasking is not really his particular strength. Oh my gosh, those Colossus beams. You can't be fighting Colossus unless your Marines are way behind the Marauders. He's actually getting hammered down here. A lot of the Stalkers focus firing the medevacs down. The Marauders getting focused down as well. Another medevac goes down, and Classic getting huge revenge on Clem. Clem has 4 Vipers. Vikings. There are 3 Colossus. This is a brutal moment in the game. This is a really big problem. A 2-1 Colossus timing naturally coming forwards. 10 Stalkers is plenty to focus down the Vikings. All you need to do is make Zealots and go, go, go. And as Clem, you need to make some magic happen. He's got no way of multitasking. He's probably going to have to lift the command center and just go for it, but he might want to wait for the 5th and 6th Viking to come out first. First few Widow Mines, they do some damage, but not the crazy big hits he'd like in the center of mass. Colossus shaving off SCVs. Classic is trying to bait Clem into engaging into him. Clem's units are not healed right now. He's only got 1 medevac and it's almost out of juice. It looks like Clem can't win this fight. His army's too damaged. He needs the perfect engagement, and Classic is being very cautious about not giving it to him. He's not got Guardian Shield. He's about 8 energy away, but if Clem waits any longer, that Guardian Shield is going to make a massive difference when this fight happens. Really good poking and prodding. The Viking count, though, the Viking micro for Clem is actually beating Classic. He blinks forward, gets a Viking. That was good for Classic. Classic wins that little skirmish, but he's going to lose a Colossus here. 1 Colossus does go down. The Stalker Zealot going for it. The Widow Mines take out the Zealots, but Classic actually pulled back at the right time. A lot of his Zealots are still protected. You don't want your Zealots to charge too far in front of your army, as things can get really, really messy. The Stalker's picking off a Viking there. They look for another one, but they have to blink back. Good micro for Clem. The way the Vikings avoid the Stalkers and go forward whenever the Colossus are engaging, that is what makes Clem Clem. Clem lost 26 workers there. I thought he would be completely dead, and to be fair, he's not out of the woods yet. The fact that he is even surviving right now, maintaining similar supply, I am impressed with, but 3-2 starts, Classic's adding 4 more probes, and because of that, I think this is a disaster for the Terran player. The Colossus from the low ground, even adding some really good firepower on that right side. One of the Colossus took a Widow Mine hit earlier, which is why these first 2 Colossus in that engagement do take massive damage. One of them going down, one of them basically just hiding inside the prism now. The Widow Mine production has been non-stop. Widow Mines are good against Mass Zealot. They're not very good against Colossus Stalker, because the Stalkers can blink and the Colossus can, of course, just outrange them. But the medevacs have been forced to rebuild. So he's going to be building 4 more medevacs out of the 2 port is Clem. He's trying to make a Ghost Academy. Problem for Clem, guys, is he lost a lot of workers, so he's only at 50. He's only on 1 eBay with no armory. He's stuck on 1-1. And if he doesn't do critical damage soon, when 3-2 kicks in, his units are garbage tier compared to the Protoss units. A Deny on a 5th base, it's good, but it's not game-changing. Recall is available, and if he goes any deeper, I mean, he's just presenting his army to get jumped on. That was actually, Clem actually target fired that Widow Mine onto the Colossus, says Senju in chat. Just Clem things. Good catch, I did not see that. I was a little curious at why it was targeting the Colossus. I wasn't sure if it was manual or not, but I love that you guys are watching closely and see that. Oh, Classic just missed this, dude. He could have blinked on that and killed at least one of those full medevacs. Instead, he misses it. He's already used his recall as well. So this is really good for Clem in that it distracts and delays Classic. But what are you doing with it? Armory second eBay's just now starting. He's not going to be able to catch up. If he could fight before 3-2, that would be good, but 2-2's done. +3 attacks almost there as well. The Widow Mine's going to try and form a wedge here, but there's not that much bio with it. The Widow Mines actually do a fair bit of friendly fire. The Stalkers blink forward. One of those takes the hits. The double drop goes inside the main at the same time, so this is more of a distraction, so the drop in the back could do damage, which is a decent move. But with 2-2, you can see these Zealots are really tough customers, man. They're so hard to deal with. Another Marauder gets picked off. If the Terran has the upgrade advantage in these sorts of fights, the Protoss units do nothing, right? But when it's the opposite, suddenly even a few Zealots are a real struggle to deal with. And Clem right now, he's got to try and out multitask. That army is so scary, though. If he could snap the Prism, that would be big. Getting rid of the Prism so he can't reinforce, but he just can't. He just can't. The Archons, the Zealots, the Stalkers blinking forward and focusing down medevacs and Vikings. Oh, and Clem is just losing too much on the retreat. There's a point where the upgrades, the power of the army, the size is so big that Protoss can kind of just shove onto you. And it's at that point where you know you are beyond trouble and you are in the sunken place right now. And that's exactly where Clem is. He's going to have to tap out. GG, well played. Classic. I gotta give it to him, guys. I really believe a lot of this game comes down to the fact is I am not sure. Remember he went forward with the Observer, and I thought he realized this drop was moving out, but I'm not sure he did. And that might actually be even more of a testament to Classic skill than I thought, because at this point, remember the drop's about to leave at this point, and Classic pokes back in. He sees lots of bio. He pulls away, and then Clem pulls back in a moment. And he loads up his medevacs and goes right now. You can see it on the minimap. He's just left with his medevacs. Classic is really keeping tabs on him, though. Pokes in, and that should be a warning. Hey, you've just moved out with your drop. Now, he drops a shield battery and a pylon on the 3rd. I think he did that before that Observer even poked in, so it's just part of the plan. But he leaves his Stalkers at home. I thought he would immediately spread some Stalkers out, fan them out, looking for the drop. but he just starts a Colossus. He's distracted by a Widow Mine drop for a little bit, blinks to dodge the first Widow Mine, Stalkers in the main block that, and at this point, does he really realize what's happening? I'm not sure. And yet, look at how crisp this response is. Battery finishes just in time. He quickly recalls his Stalkers. He loses the Stalker Sentry there, starts warping in Zealots, the most tanky, basic, good stats unit to try and fight. He starts blinking back one of those Stalkers to save it. The other units come up. This was on slower than actual game speed, by the way, just so we can see everything he's doing. It's a really good hold. There are so many times if you're, you know, a little distracted by the Widow Mine and then you're putting a pylon down in the back of your main, these guys stim in and they kill half your mineral line before you react. This hold is huge. I mean, he's got really well-timed Colossus. He's on 8 gateways now, and his +1's almost finished. He's basically pulled off a really clean early game with very minimal losses. Units lost up dead even, and he's able to defend the first bio push, and from there, it's just Clem's committed pretty heavily to 2-base aggression. His third's just started. You have this game, or at least you have a big advantage in this game. Beautiful game one for Classic. All right, guys, rough game one for Clem there. Just not quite able to find the opening, even though he snuck out with the early stim timing. Gonna go into Washout now. That last map is a big macro map. Washout, also a decent-sized macro map, though I'd say it's a little bit more medium. Classic going gas first, no scout game too. I love it. I love it. That Classic is, you know, there was so many players for so long playing so conservative, guys. The fact that we've got Classic saying, I'm going to do the most aggressive harassment that, you know, counters proxies, gets in your face, and the next game I'm just not going to scout at all and do the greediest build I can think. This is perfect play. This is like just 101 of how to be an annoying player in StarCraft, is vacillate between extreme options, show range as a player. And yeah, I think after that last game, you defended well. Maybe Classic just sticks to his macro guns after being greedy and getting away with it against Clem in that last game. So I wonder if Clem pivots and plays like 3 Command Center. 3 Command Center is a build that Clem despises. Marut, Beyond, all the Korean Terrans will rotate in a 3 Command Center build. I can't remember the last time I saw Clem do one. Have you guys seen Clem do 3 Command Center builds against Protoss? I'm sure it's happened before, but if I cast my mind back over the last few months, I can't think of a single example. And generally, the reason we don't, as Terran players, enjoy 3 Command Center against Protoss is because it gives the Protoss a lot of room. And a Protoss chronoing probes is generally scarier than a Terran holding down the SCV and mill button. Just because they can explode their economy a little bit more if they scout what you're up to. And I think especially in the modern meta where a lot of people are hallucinate scouting, if they scout that 3rd command center early, the Protoss is like double forge, Colossus, 70 probes, let's go. And you're like, I got away with the greediest Terran build. Now let's do this big push. And you're like, oh, Protoss just has way more stuff than me. What the hell? I thought I played greedy, but the Protoss has a really good mixture of greed and scouting to kind of out, and if they scout you, they can out-greed you. So it works best 3 command center, which he's not doing, by the way, just to wrap up this point. If your opponent doesn't go sentries much, they do like a max, just straight blink, 2 gate, and they're not scouting you until about 5 minutes when they're coming to try and blink inside your base. And that's where 3CC pays off, because it's a bit too late by 5 minutes for the Protoss to pivot and outscale you. Protoss can still win from there for sure, but at least like the build gives you that economic advantage that it's supposed to. Whereas if they scout you at 3 minutes when your 3rd command center is like halfway done, if even that, you know, Protoss is like, I'm going to chrono probes in the next 3 minutes. Have fun. So this is interesting. He's building no bunker, and because there's no Stalker, you can easily get away with it. Like, well, there is a Stalker, but it's adept first. This guy will take a while to cross the map. Now, you can move forward and use this high ground with the Marines to try and fight off your opponent. Hellions going to go around for a scout, and if you've not got anything at home, which right now Classic does not, that can be an issue. Notice Classic's gateway went down just past 3 minutes this time. Bit of a faster 2nd gateway, and that's because he's done a much greedier opening. He's also going to build a 3rd gateway in the main base and another pylon over here, looking for any Widow Mines coming in. Now, the Stalker can outrange these Marines, guys. Clem is going to have to go back to his ramp. He doesn't have a tank. He doesn't have a bunker. He does not have a Cyclone. Classic, it's only a matter of how well you can micro as to how much damage you get here. The Adept thinking about shading. Already 1 Marine down. Clem in a tough position here, but his Hellion is going to try and punish. And while you're distracted by the Hellion, that's when the Marines could maybe jump on the Stalker on the other side, because Classic can't micro the Stalker perfectly and do everything else at once. So Clem does push him back, only loses 1 Marine. The Hellion does survive for now. He sees the quick 3rd, which is good. Would have been better if he was watching and maybe sniped the probe, but the Breed is coming out. Now that is A Liberator that is purely there to siege the main while other stuff happens. A Liberator not paired up with a Widow Mine drop nor a tank push. Not a very common move, but it's going to go down, try and siege in the main. This pylon really good for giving early vision of it. And then it's going to be straight into 3-rack Stim Bio. As I said, Clem knows that Classic does not hit aggressive blink timings, and as a result, he is going to be skipping tanks and going fast Stim and shields. I was thinking, you know, in theory, I would have said Classic needs to do a 4-gate blink in the next game to punish this sort of style and just get a free win. Like, if you hit 5 minutes with 4-gate blink, easiest win of your life. Problem for Clem, not for Classic. He's got a super early Forge and Robo Bay again, but it's off the greediest opening in the game. He's already going 6 gates. I don't know if even with your Stim Bio timing you can do anything. All right, Clem does clear the Observer, which is nice. Hellions down here. Lib's just waiting. He doesn't want it. Like, sending the Lib in on its own is not a great move. I really think he should just wait with it, but yeah, he's just going to wait. He's going to sit above the boardwalk here. The rather derelict boardwalk. Derelict my bio, says Clem as he moves across the map. Can he catch some Stalkers? 1 or 2 Stalker kills could be excellent, but Classic should be quick. Oh! Almost loses 1. Does almost get a Marauder as well, though. Classic's first Colossus has just started. The Colossus is there. When the bio hits, it changes everything. It's getting chrono boosted right now. You can see, guys, it's only about 30 seconds from popping. Maybe 35 seconds. 2 Stalkers have gone down. Ooh, okay. Force Field's a bit conservative for a Classic. Hellion runs in on the south side. Liberator sieging the main base. Oh, he's overloading him. And he picks up and just drops across the force field. The Robo, the Colossus. Oh no, Classic. He was so greedy yet again. Last game, the defense was perfect in a situation where so many players would have died. And there was a reason I rewound to that first Stim timing. If the Terran can hit you before 6 minutes with like a bunch of Stim Marauder Marine medevac, it's so hard to defend as a Protoss. Normally this is so much later because Terran's building tanks, building a Raven, building all these safety mechanisms that Clem does not need to build against Classic. So 2 interesting things. That's why I was so impressed with the hold in game 1, because you're not really meant to hold that push when it sneaks across the map as fast as it did. And here in game 2, he actually looked like he was decently set up for it, but he needed to land those force fields a bit better. He needed to not lose 4 Stalkers for very little value on the move across the map and kind of standing around here. But I think the Hellion, the Lib, all came in to distract him. And Clem knew that Classic was going to be defending with very few units. And if he made him multitask, there was a good chance of him getting in there. He finds the window just before the Colossus is done. And that turns things upside down. Clem wins game 2. All right, guys, we're going to go into Rorschach. Classic is back to immediately scouting at the start of the game. I would love to see him do that Nexus before Cybercore this time. But I imagine he's just going to go back to what he did in game 1, do the Cybercore first. On this map, what's interesting is you can't jump into the main, right? Oh no, there is a way down here. There's a path down here, but it's quite far away, right? Because only workers can move through here. So if your Reaper wants to go down there, it's so far to rotate all the way around here to the front of the base where there's the normal ledge and then the actual natural, which you can't jump up anywhere on the natural. This is all blocked by these piping. Probe's going to come in. It is a single gas opening again. Interesting that Clem's not playing any double gas against Classic. I think... Oh, as I say that, he takes a second gas. Okay, never mind. I was going to say it's interesting. Maybe he just thinks Classic's too good at defending. Because one of the things Classic does really well is where other players play risky against double gas, Classic just basically builds a shield battery at both bases and takes no chances. Oh, he's going to let the probe in, which I think is fine, because he probably wants to trap the probe on the inside. And, you know, some Terrans feel really bad about this. Like, oh, my SCVs are damaged. This is so bad. It's really not, guys. It doesn't... This probe has lost more mining time than you have. This costs the Protoss more than it does the Terran in terms of raw resources. The problem is that it does often delay the barracks a little bit, delays the Reaper, which allows Protoss to get away with, what was I asking for? Nexus before Cybercore. So I like that Classic's pushing his greed a little bit more this time around. Pig, when are we going to start getting toroidal maps? Toroidal? No, they banned that. Yeah, we used to do a lot of Turkesterone, all sorts of other, like, not unregulated, but definitely, like, not fully scientifically proven added products. But I think for now, like, we're just kind of keeping it very safe in StarCraft, like creatine, protein, caffeine, you know, a few, like, just kind of well-tested pre-workouts and that sort of stuff. So I think we don't want to risk going too far into it. We're definitely not into, like, looks maxing and, you know, meth or anything like that to try and make our cheekbones sharper, so we're not quite at that level. Can he get a probe? Nice move here for Clem. Yes, guys, I definitely know what toroidal means. 100%. Okay, on a serious note, toroidal means you can leave the map to the left and enter it from the right. Oh, like you're on a whole planet? Oh my god, like the map wraps around like a Civ map? Oh, that'd be so cool. How fun would that be? That would be so funny. The up and down are still hard borders, but right and left you can go around. Oh, that's awesome. Just like a civilization map. Okay, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I had no idea what toroidal meant, obviously, from my dumb steroid joke. Kind of sounded like steroids. Stargate battery there. Ooh, careful, careful, careful. Battery's not ready yet. Is he going to try and kill the Adept? Oh, Clem misses the grenade. I like the way Classic moved forward there. Asserts dominance. He does throw away the Adept, though. No, he doesn't. Clem just got wrecked. Clem just got super baited, guys. He goes 3 Reaper 2 Alien against the guy who literally never leaves an opening. Oh, man. I don't know about this decision, Clem. I like the idea of doing a fast tank push, mixing it in against Classic, right? Maru does some really good build. I would just copy a Maru all in if I was playing Classic in a best of 5, right? I'd go look at the last time Maru played him, and I would just write down his builds and try to do them exactly. But 3 Reaper 2 Alien against a guy who rushes 2 shield batteries every time against WS. I thought there'd be a bit more of a mind game to it from Clem. It's just going to be a mind drop afterwards. Starport second barrier. It doesn't look like a particularly clever or elegant build for Clem. No offense. It just looks like he's like, I'll just shove with Reaper Alien and hopefully find some damage. And the problem is he's got nothing that shoots up. He's so screwed. Guys, Classic has this in the bag. If that Widow Mine drop doesn't do crazy damage, Clem is screwed. He has nothing that shoots up. 2 Marines. The only fear right now for Classic is that there might be a Widow Mine over here. When he sees the mine drop come in, he should realize that's not the case. He can just A-move this bad boy. 4 Marines are coming. They might be able to defend. Oh my god, Classic. No, not like this, not like this, not like this. Okay, it's okay though. He picks up one of the Widow Mines. That is A-okay. The Oracle's going to kill all of the Marines. It kills all 4 Marines. It kills all the Marines. All the Marines go down. The Reaper Hellion is doing some damage over here. These probes should probably run away. Classic is too busy microing. The Oracle goes to the natural. It's still got 30 energy. He's going to kill a few more SCVs. The probes stack on their Hellions. Don't Mineral Walk. No, don't Mineral Walk. Classic. He's stacking his probes for the Hellion. He lines them up like a bunch of ducks in a row. Why would you do that, Classic? You had this game in the bag, bro. He could have just don't Mineral Walk them, and the probes are fine. Especially because I think he used an energy recharge on the battery to have more healing. Stacking them did a lot more harm than it helped. I mean, he's still got... Did his Phoenix just die? Dude, Clem came back with the Widow Mine drop. What? Dropped the Widow Mine there, blew the Phoenix up, gets the medevac home in red hit points. Who? What? Now the Stalkers could do damage though. Clem has 5 Marines in a Cyclone. The bunker, if you focus that bunker down before he gets here, this is gonna get crazy, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really hard to multitask that scenario. I was kind of cheering for Classic there because he had such a good start. It's like the perfect scenario, and I love that he's mixing Oracle in. This is something only Hero used to do. All the other Protoss players said it was so bad, and I love that he's doing it as well. The Oracle does take the Widow Mine, takes one for the team there. That Cyclone will survive. The 4 Stalkers going to do some damage. The 4 Stalkers of the Apocalypse. Oh, does get the medevac. That Cyclone's got to be careful. He's got to try and repair that Cyclone. Of course, Clem doesn't because he's a mad gamer. But the Dark Shrine is also the perfect decision. Oh, this is so smart. He's got a 3rd, and he's got a Dark Shrine. Game over. It's game over, man. It's game over. Now, you might be saying, what do you mean? If he doesn't build a turret for safety right now, if Clem's... I think if he's playing Hero, he builds a turret now. Against Classic, there's no way. There's no way, because against Classic, he's always worried about the long game, because Classic's a really sick defensive macro player. And that's why this, like, when Hero does this, sometimes I'm like, dude, you've done this too many times in the last month. You keep spamming DTs at Clem. He's like literally building blind turrets when he plays Hero. But right now, Clem is like, oh god, he's gonna have a 3rd Nexus. I gotta get my stim medevac timing going before he probes his 3rd. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. The last thing on his mind is the Invisible Men. Let's see if he sees him walk in. Guys, we're on Clem's vision. You can see the Dark Templar are splitting up. One's about to walk in. Does he see it? It's walking in. It's walking. It's on his screen. It's on his screen. It's on his screen. He sees it. He sees it. Turrets go down immediately. He raises the depot. He spots the blur. His camera was in the right position at the right time, and that's a very quick response. Does he have a scan available? No, he does not, but he will soon. He's building a turret up behind the natural. That SCV will get targeted. The depot's getting targeted, but he's repairing those as well. The turret behind the natural does go down. He starts another turret here. He's going to try and get the double scan. He wants the double scan, but it misses. He misses. Oh, no. Both Dark Templars survive. Both Dark Templars survive! But wait, how did he see this one? Oh, he does another scan. It was another scan. There was a pause as well and an unpause, and I guess the turrets get up, so it's fine. Okay, that could have been much worse. Good handling for CLEM. There's the thing, pro gamers are so good at spotting DTs these days, guys, that if their screen happens to be there for like even 1 second while the DTs are walking in, they almost always notice it. It's crazy. Obviously, if they happen to be, you know, placing depots in their main, building some buildings, swapping those around, the DT's going to get in. They're not wizards. They can't see a blur on the minimap. That doesn't show up, right? There is no blur on the minimap. But if they happen to look there, Protoss players, Terran players, they almost always spot it. I'd say Zergs, if their screen is there, they almost always have detection there. It's just a rarer situation to have a Dark Templar. It's also a bit harder, I think, to see DTs or observers on creep. But maybe on the low graphics settings, maybe not. I've been playing on more viewer-friendly settings for many years now. So, I think on lower settings, it's easier. Good. Pickups and pullbacks. Nice. I did manage to get MaxPax to turn his graphics settings down. He was playing on everything ultra for a long time, where, like, minerals and creep are actually so sparkly, you can't see invisible units very well at all. And he was actually not bad at spotting invisible units. Just goes to show the human brain can train for just about any situation. Because he was giving himself a massive handicap for many years. Until that one day I was talking to him and I was like, hey, wait, MaxPax, you've never been to a LAN. And he's like, yes, everybody knows this. And I was like, that means you haven't learnt all the things that most people learn at their first few LAN tournaments about settings. Like, you could have some crazy settings. And I went through them with him and I was like, oh my God, you do have crazy settings. Please change these. I think he turned his mouse acceleration back on though, because that was a bit too hard to get used to. Oh, big push here. It's a Zealot Archon army. The tank on the front line goes down. It's all about the bio. Can the mines land any hits? Oh, big Widow Mine hits on the Stalkers. Another massive hit on the Zealots. Classic clumping up like mad. But he might just have the numbers. The anti-armor missile and the Widow Mine hits were big for CLEM. Is that going to be enough, though? This is all happening just before his +1 weapons is done. +1 attack is done for the Protoss. Classic chasing him down. And remember, Classic's on 14 worker advantage, and CLEM is just going to tap out because he knows. What can he do from there, guys? You might say that's a bit of a silly time to GG, but what's he going to do? What's his follow-up? He's not got a third command center. This is kind of like an all-in, and with a 4th base building, already a 15 worker advantage, this had to do more damage. The DTs distracted him, caught him off enough, and you know, it was just really well done in the early game for Classic. I do think the 3 Reaper 2 Hellion fell very flat, but you got to give credit where it's due. Classic kind of baited him in. So the Adept here is fighting. I think seeing how close the battery was to finishing, you should probably just run away to begin with. But CLEM already stayed too long, loses a Reaper, and then he says, ooh, I can bounce you. Because this grenade, his idea is he's going to keep the Adept away from the battery with the grenade. But then the Adept is like, well, you're actually not doing damage that fast. I can just help kill the Reaper and then go backwards. So this was a bit of a mistake, but I think what was really cool is this little later stage with the Oracle. So you could see, guys, the Phoenix tried to chase the medevac home. Classic had shift-clicked this, hunting for it. He sends it back. CLEM unloads outside, burrows this, and actually gets it. And then, like, this was such a god-tier move. That was so cool, man. But I think that the fact that Classic had the wherewithal to get back to mining and a few other things was okay. Let's go look at this natural again with the stack of the probes, because I do think that was a pretty big mistake. But at the end of the day, let's kind of look at what he should have done in a perfect scenario if you're able to micro 3 places at once absolutely perfectly. So I think here, grabbing the probes and clicking them over here is good, just so they're all in healing, because these guys aren't really in healing range. But then you want to kind of spread them out a little bit as well, right? So, and the healing here is still pretty effective. Like, the Rebellion's not killing as quickly as good. Now, I think clicking there is fine, but then you just need to spread them out a little bit. And even not spread out is probably better than what he does, where clicking back there lines them up for these Hellions really badly. And at any point here, if he spreads them out, if he A moves, would have been a bit better than that. Just the tail end of that was very unclean. But the rest of what he did, the Oracle surviving so long, killing all those units. I mean, the Oracle got out after killing 16 units. Most players lose the Oracle. Hero 100% loses the Oracle there. He escapes with it. The fact that he tried to hunt down the medevac in the midst of this is crazy good. I was just overall really impressed with how Classic handled this early game. And I love that he played Oracle here. It's not used enough at all. And I think it's very good to mix in just to make the Terran go, oh gosh. I can optimize my builds for the other situations, but to optimize for Oracles and Blink, that makes it much harder. GG, well played. Classic's up 2-1. All right, guys. We've got Clem in the bottom left side of the map on X-Arch, a gigantic 4-player map, and Classic is going to go all the way down for a low-ground gateway. And then he's going to go scout with his probe. My, oh me, oh my. Now, keep in mind, this is a map with a worker-only path around the side. I don't know if the players are going to use that. It speeds up your scouting massively as opposed to moving through the middle of the map, but only workers can move through these monorails that go along the edges of the map. So far, neither player using those. There is a cool angel statue here with a big sword, by the way. His wings do look a little bit, a little dodgy, don't they? They're kind of expanding and shrinking. Dude, these wings are crazy. Wow, that's awesome. Probe comes in, doesn't see anything so far. It's going to go to the right side. You can see there's all these little mineral-only, these worker-only paths that do speed up movement around the map. Here as well, worker-only path. So even though he's not using the tunnel on the far outside, it's still worker scouting is sped up on these maps as opposed to going across with your army, which is a cool way of mitigating the problems on 4-player maps. So people go, oh, you just get cheesed because, you know, it takes so long to scout, while still meaning that the actual ground units take a while to get to each other. So the Zealot's going to rally to the south side. Clem is going to go scout after going for this 1-Rax expand. Marine first. And he's going to go in the right direction. So Clem gets the luck there, which he absolutely needs when he's down 1-2. All right, Zealot's going to go south. Stalker coming out as well. Only one gas for now. Surely that second gas goes down momentarily unless you're going to proxy gate. Probe comes in, harasses the SCV. Marine does not quite get him. Should be able to get out of here. Does he build a proxy, though? Second gas only now goes down. Classic. Zealot does not go in. Interesting. He might predict the Marauder. Maybe he thinks Marine first. Oh, it must be a Marauder opening. Or he's just waiting for the Stalker to join up. This is going to be a really, really interesting micro battle because Concussive is really good, but Zealot takes forever to kill for Marauders. You want to target that. Once the Stalker's dead, though, it's really good for Clem. Clem's SCV, very vulnerable. I think that'll be the first target. Hard not to focus that. It goes down almost instantly. The Marauder's going to get some good shots off, and with Concussive here, that Stalker's going to say goodnight very quickly. And with the new SCV coming to the natural, that should be A-okay. Clem is going to keep tagging that Zealot, so it is, of course, a very slow Zealot. 50% movement speed reduction is absolutely insane, and Clem shuts the Zealot down. Doesn't really take much damage, but actually the Stalker comes in, gets a second SCV. Nice move by Classic to get a bit of value. And one has to wonder where is... Okay, I was going to say, where's his gas gone? It's because he queued up the Robo, but hadn't actually placed it yet. Command Center will finish on the natural, of course. The second and third barracks coming up, so it's a 3-Rax here. And this is a pretty short rush distance from here to here. Remember, guys, we did a TLMC show match with Clem versus Solar on this map. Clem was in Classic spawn, Solar was in Clem spawn. Clem scouted roaches coming across the map, delayed his bunker, and then just died. And he literally went, like, spammed question marks in the chat. And he was like, what? How are you here so fast? Isn't this map giant? And Solar was like, you know we're inside spawns. This is not cross-map, dummy. But Clem has so little experience with 4-player maps, he just couldn't judge the distance on the map. And he just didn't build his bunker in time and straight up died. And I think now he's saying, let's do the same thing to Classic. I remember dying on this map to Solar. Let's put that pain upon Classic as well. As this is the playoffs, and our show match was played before this, guys. 100% it was. We were kind of laughing at him in our little post-match about that. I was like, he's like, the map looked huge. I thought I had like a minute till the roaches got here, but you got to realize like main base to main base is huge, but natural wrap to natural wrap, not very far. Not very far at all. Stim's on the way. I like the Marauders waiting in the site blocker, hoping some Stalkers stumble in. Wait, is this live? Am I live? So what you want to do is, guy in the chat, Couch Pouch, you want to take 2 fingers, put them on your wrist. You want to try and see if you got a pulse. That's the test. Observer sees the move out. This is good. Immortal will shut this down for now, and it's going to be a 4-gas, 2-base Colossus play. So this is very good for shutting down the 3-Rax aggro. The factory's down at about what was that, 435, 437, something like that? Yeah, about 435. So it's not the fastest factory into medevacs. That being said, I don't think you can do anything here with stimming up the ramp. I think you have to run away right away. You might stim up the ramp. Yeah. You see a battery and an immortal, and it's just no. No. Clem. Naughty. Clem, he just can't resist trying to find damage, but this is not a situation where he'll be able to find much. Question is, guys, does Clem expand down here on the third, or does he expand towards the Protoss? I think he expands backwards, and my question, I guess, is, does he do that soon? Because no doubt... Wait, why is he putting a factory on a reactor? Oh, he just misrallied. He's meant to be landing the factory there. He just misclicked that. Wait, what? Oh, no, he's building tanks. Okay, guys, he's worried about getting busted by Colossus Sentry on 2 base. He's worried about a sentry timing, so he's going to get a tank or two while building medevacs to make sure he doesn't die to a Colossus push. Oh, clever reaction here. Really clever for Clem. He's absolutely respecting what Classic could kill him with. He knows that on 2 base, the Protoss doesn't have that much flexibility to their play, and already that Marine is denying. He sees, okay, Classic's thinking about a 6-minute third, but that's not a quick third base. And Clem is saying, why would I build a third command center if the Protoss isn't? You know, he might start one soon, knowing that, okay, it looks like Classic might go for one, but now he's got the safety of a tank or two coming out that can outrange any sort of Colossus push, and that's the real thing. If you've got tanks, he's even going to go Vikings before medevacs. Wow. And the thing is, you could turn this into an all-in. You could go with like 3 tanks, 4 Vikings, and a big pack of Marine Marauder. Look at this. He's waiting for a Prism in the main, by the way, with those rally points. Realizes, oh, it's probably not coming. Decides to come to the front. Forge, probes, and a third Nexus all on the way here for Classic. Classic's Observer has died. I wouldn't mind him... Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't mind him taking a break from Colossus to build an Observer. Does build a new one. Send that across the map. It'll take a while. Watch out, Observer goes down. Now Clem does know about the third base, guys. He knows that's up there. He's got a big army. He's still not building medevacs. If he stims, there is no way to heal his units. And Colossus are very good at shaving your units off. But if he catches Classic's army in the middle of the map, Classic has got to be just the number of Marauders. There's 12 Marauders, 4 Vikings, 3 siege tanks. Holy moly, this is a scary push. I mean, Classic comes out here. He's forcing a siege up. Clem, good discipline. Very good discipline to not stim. But you can see Classic, the range damage of the Vikings punishes you for that as well. Like, the shields are already gone. The tanks are here. The SCVs as well. The Stalker Immortal go onto the siege tanks. 1 tank down. 2 tanks down. The 3rd tank falls. But guess what? Classic loses his entire army for it. And that is enough damage for Clem. Yeah, I think he needed to slow that push down, maybe get some disruptors or something. He needed to try to bait the stims out of Clem. Did Classic there, but Clem had such discipline, not stimming until Classic was fully committed. And at that point, there was no pulling out. Clem ties up the series 2-2. All right, guys, game 5. Classic's going to once again insta-scout. Just kind of interesting that he's doing that so much, because it's not really the thing I'd expect. I would basically... I would bet $100,000 that Clem was not going to friggin' concussive shell Marauder here. Maybe not 100,000. Definitely 1,000. I would have bet $1,000 on it. I'm not a big gambler, so 100,000. Like, I would never bet 100,000 on anything, right? So to be honest, I would have bet $1,000 though. Clem always thinks he's the better of the 2 players, and he almost never cheeses in game 5 of a series. Very, very occasionally he will. So I kind of feel like doing a gas first no scout here actually would have been like the most winning build for Classic, but... Oh, that gas is really delayed. That gas is quite delayed. If you're going Reaper first, that does slow the Reaper down a little, I believe. Probe's dancing around. Probe attacking the SCV. Takes a few hits. Probe, of course, pulls away to regen the shields. Gateway and Gas are up behind this. And, of course, Classic is going Cybercore before Nexus. We know this because he's not rallied this probe to the natural. So if he doesn't send that probe down right now, he's going Cybercore before Nexus. A bit more conservative opening for Classic in Game 5. And this kind of, it's not surprising. Classic playing conservative with an ultra-safe harass scout in the early game. Yeah, makes sense in Game 5. Clem playing a super standard 1-Rax expand against the player he thinks he's better than. Game 5. Yep, this is kind of like both players just playing to their strengths, but also they are way more predictable, these guys, than your heroes, than your darks, than your Marus, right? I think hero, dark, Maru, the kind of trifecta of unpredictable. I mean, I guess Rogue at the moment. It's kind of disrespectful. Rogue's been doing so well, and I still, like, always talk about dark more than I do Rogue. I'm like, Rogue's killing it lately. I should probably... And he's very unpredictable as well. But the top-level Koreans, most of them are a lot more unpredictable, whereas Classic these days falls into a bit more of the European cap. He'll mix in a timing attack, he'll mix in a cheese, but his preferred position is scouting and defending for sure. I do love the kind of Dwemer Ruin feel to a lot of the little doodads on this map, guys. Be careful, might get Corpus on this map if you're not careful. There's also some, like, a lot of, like, fairy magic going on down here with these plants that are all glowing and sparkly and stuff, you know? It's a lot of weird stuff happening. Second barracks goes down. Clem's going to play a 2 barracks again. Surely not a 3 barracks 2 games in a row. Surely not. He's going to do a 3 barracks. My God. Wow. I think he just has faith in how this matches up against Classic. Interesting. This is so interesting. I feel like 3 racks I like doing when I feel like I'm the inferior player. But he's going to be going for very... Oh, and he gets a Stalker! Oh, Classic was not expecting 3 racks a couple games in a row. Wow! Okay, and he's like, whoa, what the hell? He thought he was going to be catching a Marine opening. Pick off a Marine or 2. But Clem committing to something rather ambitious here. A 1 gas 3 racks build. Wow. Very efficient. There's an early stim timing with this, where you can hit with like 4 or 5 Marauders and a ton of Marines, and it can be absolutely deadly. Hey, didn't Maru play 3 racks for the last 40 days straight? Did he? I feel like I've never seen Maru repeat the same build over and over again, pretty much ever. They'll do it for like 1 series sometimes, but I would, I don't know. We've been casting quite a few Maru games. Maybe we missed a day or 2 of them. I don't really remember him doing a lot of 3 racks. Beyond for sure. Stalker's walking into the site blocker. This is a bad move for Classic, isn't it? Oh, he's actually killing a few Marauders, which is cute, but he will cost 3 Stalkers for 2 Marauders, unless he can kill this one. Ooh, good micro there by Clem. Yeah, I mean, that's... He only got 1? Wait, he only got 1 Marauder? And 1 Marine? Oh, my lord. And then Classic gonna pause again. Looks like maybe the player's having issues with some players lagging. That was so crazy, though. Moving into the middle of the map against a guy who's gone multiple Marauders. Classic got way too greedy right now. He's gonna try and play 4-gate, 2-base Dark Templar into, I imagine, charge? But he's saving all the gas for DTs right now. Now, of course, there's no engineering bay. No factory just yet. Clem wants to start the factory the second he has 100 gas. You can tell how aware he is of how delayed a factory is with this build. 4 minute 33 when that goes down. Engineering bay has started, which is massive. Pylon's going up on the other side of the map, but I mean, the Dark Shrine's ready. You got to go now. You can't waste any time. Healing Shrine in the middle of the map is very nice for the Terran units to heal up. He's already got a Dark Templar warping, another one going. Charges on the way. Classic, he's only on 2 base and he's not got Forge, he's not got Robo Bay. Dark Templar, oh god, do they get spotted? I don't think so. Wait, Clem! Does he see it? Does he see it? Does he see it? He raises his depots, he knows! He spots it! Who the hell spots that? Oh, Classic, when his probe saw it, he should have tried to move left with that Dark Templar to get out of vision. All he needs is a blur. Just a little blur, that's all he needs. That is all he needs. And this Dark Templar's dead. If he goes for the turret, he needs to run away. It's too late. Nah, you're in vision there, mate. You're not out of... There's no way you can get out of vision there. Not enough room. Both Dark Templar go down. Third one's going to come in. Turrets are up in each base. Absolute shutdown here in Game 5. It's been a bit more of a whimper than a bang. Loses his early Stalkers, which takes all pressure off Clem. Clem spots the Dark Templar coming through the middle. And it feels like just having this meaty, massive units is something Classic's not as confident against. A spectacular build choice for Clem. He's now going to push, and I think he hits just before Storm's done. Honestly, if he commits in, Classic's dead. He knows you can't have a good army, not after this sort of start. And, yeah, what are you going to defend him with? 1 feedback, 2 Stalkers, a Guardian Shield, 2 Zealots. There's just no way. Give Classic 1 minute. He has Storm. He has a pack of Zealots. He's okay. At least to survive, if not in a good position. But as it is, 20 seconds from Storm, absolutely ridiculous. The High Templar could just get clicked on. Clem knows Storm's not ready. Dark Templar walks into his main base. He's killing everything on the other side of the map. Of course, the SCVs could kill that Dark Templar on their own. Pretty easy to kill that even with these SCVs if he chooses to, and indeed he will do just that. Dark Templar goes down. Bio's killed all the probes. And this is going to be game over. A kind of, I would say, sad end to the series after what has been so competitive from Classic in this series so far. It's another scan to get the other Dark Templar. Templar Archives will go down. Classic has to tap out. Chasing those Marauders into the fog was not great. But, I mean, I think what's even crazier is just Clem spotting them. Spotting them coming. So yeah, this was just a silly move for Classic. I think he's like, oh, I got so much damage. I've healed on the battery. I can punish you now. I think he wasn't expecting the third Marauder. If there was only 2 Marauders, is this a good choice, guys? I think maybe if he brings 1 Stalker on the right side, so that he's got vision on both sides, maybe. But it felt like he just thought Clem was going to go home. Clem used the feature on the map really well. The Stalkers lost a lot of attack time. That third Marauder, the damaged one, comes back in at the right time. This was really bad. All right, so this is interesting, guys. Let's watch Clem's vision. As he's just chilling on the healing shrine, chilling on the healing shrine. He keeps checking it, even when nothing's happening. You can tell how much Clem's screen bounces around. And look at this. He sees that, and then look on the left side of the screen. There was the tiniest. He saw the tiniest glimmer. The tiniest glimmer. He notices it. He notices it. Instant reaction, dude. Who spots that? One more time. Let's watch that again. From his point of view, and Probe's gonna come in. Let's go back. This is actual game speed. Kills the probe, looks back, and he double checks because he just saw it enter vision, and he moves beyond the grass and then sees it. Now, to be fair, I think, guys, we need to give a shout out to Hero right now. And you might be wondering, why would you shout out Hero right now? Hero has really pissed off Clem by hitting him with so many Dark Templar recently. And it's really put Clem on high alert. There are certain cheeses, tricks, and nasty techniques and harassment tools in StarCraft that are most effective when you haven't played against it in a while. And the more someone has been traumatized by it recently, the more their brain is always looking for that thing. And I think in this series, we saw that Clem has been trained up by Hero to be on his friggin'... He's like a hawk. He's on his toes. He's constantly going, where's the Dark Templar? Where is it? Like, Hero has made Clem paranoid, and Clem plays it out, shuts down Classic in this final game. Very close series, though, 3-2, and goes through to that next match. GG, well played, Clem. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that series and Clem's awesomeness. I think Classic played really well, though, and I love that he's mixing it up and so many clever DTs, oracles, and all the rest. If you guys want to check out more games like this and support the channel going forwards, you can check out our Patreon. Links down below in the description, and there's a whole bunch of special, unique perks that you can find there. Big thanks to those supporters of the Patreon, especially thanks to Neverless, Al Leviathan, and our conductors of the D-Town Express, Pete and N, Drago Sar, and Oko H. We appreciate you all, as well as everyone else here very much. Click the button on screen if you want to find out more, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, and good night.